Hey there, welcome to the Girl Go Global podcast, where faith and works are empowered. With every episode, we're embracing our multi-layered lives with faith, know-how, and grit. I'm your host, Dr. Jasmine, and I'm ready to go global with you. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Girl Go Global podcast, where faith and works are empowered. We are around here stepping into our power. We are empowering our works to live out our courageous life for which God created us. So if you are a global girl who is really ready to step into her calling, step into her power, and fulfill that true destiny and purpose in life, please tap into the Girl Go Global podcast. We would love to hear how you are enjoying the content, how you are just loving the content that we're putting out. So I want to hear from you. Give us a review, give us a like, give us a share. Let the people know that you are enjoying this podcast. So without further ado, today's guest is a phenomenal woman. She is truly a global girl. I met her all the way back in the day at the Morgan State University, the national treasure that is in Baltimore City.
Yes.
And aside from that, I have Miss Adia Jones. Adia is the owner and lead floor stylist for Amazing Decor Interior Aesthetics, LLC. She has a deep passion for designing beautiful, unique, and timeless creations for her clients. But before discovering her passion, she was a teacher and a community leader. Adia, would you please introduce yourself to the Girl Go Global community?
Hello, ladies. Hello. Thank you, Dr. Lee, for having me today. I really do appreciate you for welcoming me on the Girls Go Global podcast. I want to make sure I do not mess that up too much. I want to make sure that I'm clear when I say that. Girl Go Global podcast. Thank you for having me today. I truly do appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to have this conversation. I'm so excited also to kind of reconnect with you because we haven't really had any full-fledged conversations since our days at Morgan State University in the English department.
I know, right? Exactly.
I don't even think I have run into you in these Baltimore streets. I
right.
don't even think.
Maybe homecoming.
It's homecoming after all these years.
Right.
This last year was the first time, I think.
Right. Yes, this last homecoming. Exactly.
So for sure, this conversation is long overdue.
Absolutely.
But aside from that, you are doing some great things. Over the years, we follow each other on social, engage with each other's content. I have seen you with Heal a Woman, Heal a Nation. I've seen you get married recently. Also seen you start your business.
Yes.
So I just want to jump right into, and let me not forget how you raised a Black son. And he is in college.
Yes, he is.
You might have been doing that on your own. I'm sure. His father figures, I'm sure all of that kind of thing.
Yes.
But let's not forget the most important thing, how you raise a Black son. Hello?
Absolutely. Hello.
In college doing the thing. All of
yes,
the
he is. Yes. Well, it seems like you have the rundown.
but you can tell I've been paying attention.
Right.
I might not like every post. I'm just like, I'm smiling inside. I know her. Look at her. She's shining. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we got a lot to talk about. But first, I want to just say congratulations. You are a newlywed. You got married during the pandemic. Is that correct?
Actually, yes. Like I would not say the end because God knows it never ends. But I would honestly say, I would say when it started, the hype started, trending off. We got married September 25th. 2021, we got married. So yes, during the pandemic, we got married. Yes, we did. Yep, we did.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was that like planning? What was that like?
Planning was a lot. We both said at first it was going to be something very small and intimate, and it was in our yard, in our backyard. We have a decent sized yard, but what ended up starting off as something small and intimate ended up turning into something, I would say mid-sized to big. Our guest list was about 120 people in our yard.
Okay. I think I
Yes,
had about
yes,
the same amount.
yes.
Not in my yard. My yard
Right.
ain't that big, but
Yes. So we basically used our front yard and our backyard, and we hosted a beautiful wedding. It turned out great, but I'm not going to lie. Through the process, I'm sure my husband would say now he wanted to wring my neck, but it turned out
Mhm.
beautiful. It
Oh
turned
wow.
out beautiful, and things are going wonderful for he and I. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So I don't want to speak for you, but I do not subscribe to the idea that, the first
Y-
5 years, first 1 year, 1 to 5 years
Nope.
is just
I
like
don't
a
either.
tumultuous
Nope.
experience.
I don't subscribe to it. I'm with you. Nope. I
You
don't
know,
subscribe to
let
it.
me tell you something. If we can survive COVID in the house 24/7 together, we good.
Jasmine, I'm telling you, he actually proposed to me during COVID.
Uh-huh.
And I'm telling you, that probably had a lot to do with it. The fact that we were able to make it through that time, I'm sure it said a lot about him proposing to me. And then he and I getting married during that time as well. It said a lot. It said a lot about our union. It said a lot about our relationship. So I agree with you. I do not subscribe to the first year is going to be. No, our first year was amazing. I can't lie. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And I guess for us, our first year of marriage was, I mean, outside of pandemic,
Uh-huh.
we got a chance to, we was like half and half. We got married in May, and then we was traveling, living our best life, getting celebrated the holidays. We done went to Essence Festival, we went on the cruise, we went to
Uh-huh.
all these other little places, planning a trip. We were supposed to go to Africa in 2020, but that got
Ah.
shut down. We canceled,
Mm-hmm.
with everybody else canceling. Then we was in the house. We celebrated
Oh,
our 1 year anniversary in the house in the pandemic.
wow.
So so our full second years in the house, and we still kind of in the house because I ain't going back to work in the office, and he's always been a business owner where he works from
Okay.
home.
Okay.
So we still here. We still in it. We
Still
still in
here, still going strong. Yes. And I'm telling you, as you know, the most popular question is, so how's marriage? So how's marriage? So how's marriage? And I always say, things are going great. I just pray that it stays this way. That's my that's
it.
that's my answer always. I just pray it stays this way.
So I can't. You know how you can't look at the internet,
Uh-huh. Right.
because seriously, like it's people, I look at Tia Mowry and her husband. I look at some other people who are
Right.
recently getting
Yes.
divorced or planning to get divorced or
Absolutely. Yep.
going through that process. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, y'all,
Mm.
dang, y'all, dang, y'all.
Right.
And
Y'all
I'm
was,
like,
yeah, we had hope for y'all. We was rooting for y'all.
exactly,
Yes.
or, whatever the issue was, I don't know.
Right.
My thing is, a family is now going to be separated or
Yeah.
living in different households. A family is forever changed.
Yes.
I don't know how they arrive there,
Mm-hmm.
but my prayer, like you,
Right.
is that we can be sustainable.
Yes.
Now, one of the
Absolutely.
things that I'm hoping, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't even know how we got in marriage, but it's
Right.
all
Right.
good, right?
It's all part of
I,
it. It's a
exactly.
conversation.
I literally think getting married later in
Uh-huh.
life for
Yes.
me was,
Uh-huh.
even though I didn't like it being single all those years, single, not married. I call it not married or dating or whatever the kind of thing. So
Right.
just being without a spouse
Uh-huh.
all those years, even though I was dating and
Right.
getting to know and all of that kind of thing,
Yes.
was better for me
I agree.
to have had waited just from how I know I was,
Yep.
or how I know I deal with things. And by the way,
Mm-hmm.
when you think about, who you end up marrying, well, he don't even live and we don't even live we didn't even live in the same state. We had
Right.
to meet, it was a whole lot of competing
Yes.
priorities. If
Absolutely.
I subscribe to a godly marriage, meaning God, I don't know, in my book, I talk about the one, not so much thinking of there's such thing as the one,
Uh-huh.
but I
Uh-huh.
do think that you are compatible with different people and God gives us options and free will and choices,
Uh-huh.
even though I think that some people were ultimately destined to be together. Like, y'all gotta be together because y'all gotta make this child, y'all gotta do this, and this gotta happen.
Right. Right.
But I ain't talking about that. I'm just saying,
Right.
like, if he was my one,
Right.
right, out of all of those others,
Mm-hmm.
then he didn't live here.
Right.
So, like, sis, you
Right.
need to calm down. Because he might not live Yeah, he might not live in your state. He might not live in your country.
Absolutely. Yes.
Like,
Not only
literally,
that,
I know a girl
in my
who met her
case,
husband in Paris. I
come
know a girl who
on.
met her husband in Paris.
In my case, my husband is 8 years older than me, and not only that,
Okay.
he was married before.
Okay.
So yes, and their marriage did not work out. Of course, when we met each other, that was not the case. You know that thing, but
Mm-hmm.
so it's like we had to meet at another time in life. We
Mm-hmm.
had to meet, you know what I mean, when I was older. We had to meet later on in life, so it's like, as you said, when I thought I was supposed to be married, air quotes, when I thought I was supposed to be married at a younger age, that just wasn't my time. That wasn't for the story that God had for me. Even though I thought at a younger age it was supposed to be written in my story, it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So at times we think we're supposed to have it at this time, things are supposed to happen here, but you just got to let life play out. You got to let life
Mm-hmm.
play out. So
Let life play
let
out.
life play out. You
I
gotta let it
love
play
it.
out. Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
at 28, 20, I say 25, 28, 30, 31, 32. I wasn't always into that, but
I
let's
wasn't
let's
either. I
let's
definitely
talk
wasn't.
about that. Let's talk about that retrospect, that
Right.
flashback. That, like,
Hmm.
girl, if I could tell you something, that's what I would tell you. Let
Yes.
life
Life play
play
out.
out.
Absolutely.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I love that
Let life play out. Yes.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. So you got marriage, you got business. I know you were teaching. I know you're in a different field altogether now. Let's talk
Yes.
about that business. Let's talk about that
Hmm.
certified Black owned women owned business. How about that? Let's talk about
Yes.
your
Yes.
business.
Yes.
How did you
Yes.
arrive at just wanting to be a florist? Now, listen, I told you that I did peep out your social, how you would post pictures of your garden. I even remember you dancing in the garden with like
Yep. Yep.
tattoos on your leg. Um,
Yes. Yes.
so you always had a garden, I would think, like you have interested in some type of flowers and all that kind of
Absolutely.
thing.
I
So
have.
tell us about that amazing decor that you do.
So I've always had a love for flowers. Always. I've always had a love for beautiful things, like in your home, like always, always. I would always give myself flowers. I would never wait for people to give me flowers. If they wanted to, fine. But I would always give myself flowers. I will always have flowers in my kitchen, have flowers on my dining room table, in my living room, always, always. Now, with that said, I would make like beautiful arrangements when I would buy these flowers for myself. I mean, often people will come into my house. Oh my God, they're so pretty. Who gave you those? Where'd you get those from? I'm like, I gave them to myself. I made it myself. Now, often I would also have parties or have get-togethers. I would give this costume party every year also, and with every table, I would do a table arrangement. And people were like, well, who did your arrangements? I'm like, I did. So honestly, this is a good story. My boss at my full-time job, people tell me I need to stop saying that because my business
Mm,
is my full-time job as well. So I need to stop saying that. But my boss at my other job, because I have two, she
mm-hmm,
would see my arrangements and she was like, Adia, you need to start a business. And I'm like, really?
mm,
She's like, yes, you need to start a business. I'm like, well, you know what? This is before my son went to college. I'm
mm-hmm,
like, well, I'll wait for him to go to college. She was like, wait for him to go to college. He was at 16 at the time. She was like, please, he's basically not paying you any mind at this point. You have time.
You
You
got
have time.
time.
You got time on your hand. Okay. He's in high school. He's playing sports.
Hilarious.
He's not paying you. He's not paying you any mind. That you when you read my bio, you can see I said I lost my father, and I was
Mm,
going through like a grieving time at that time. And she was like, "You need to take that energy, and you need to start your business." And
mm,
literally from that conversation with my boss, I started an Instagram page, and I just started posting some of the pictures of some of my designs. And that's literally
mm.
how I started my business from there, from a
See
thought
there.
right there, right there, right there. It was
Mm.
just like that. And I had no idea, Jasmine, that it would just blow up the way it has. I had no
Listen,
idea. I had
let
no
me tell you
idea.
something. Let me tell you something. I'm just gonna just do a shameless plug right now. We did a podcast last year. No, let's literally we did a podcast episode last year with my girl
Hmm.
Tiffany Renee, the In
Hmm.
Full Bloom. What are we blooming? And one of the things my girl
Mm.
said was people see your purpose before
Mm.
you do.
Mm.
Basically, in a nutshell, she was saying people see it in you before you do. And it's not if
Yep.
someone speaks in your life.
Yes.
and brings it
Yes.
to your attention and calls it
Yes.
to you. Like
Yep.
literally, a lot of times, people, you got a craft, you creative, you
Yeah.
crafty, but a
Yes.
lot of
Yes.
times it's because you become recognized
Right.
for that skill, for that talent, for that ability that lets you know it's time to bloom. How
Right.
about that?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm.
So true.
And
Yep.
all the pun intended, because
Yep.
we're blooming. She has a floral
Yep. Yep.
design company. All the pun intended,
All the
but
pun
like
intended. Yes.
seriously, I love that.
Yeah. Yep. That
So
is
when you
definitely
say
how it
blow
blossomed.
up, your business has blown up. Give us a little timeline. You started at X, and then this
So,
happened, and then you got your phone ringing up the hook to the point where you like, sis,
yes.
I might need to take my 9 to 5 to be. I need my 9 to 5 to
I'm
be my
telling
five
you. I'm telling you. Exactly. Yes. 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 It is honestly become that crazy. And as we talk about the pandemic, it's honestly like the pandemic has kind of helped me in a way, because I would go in the office before, maybe I would work from home 2 days a week anyway before, with my my other job. But now I'm working from home every day of the week. So I'm
Mm,
never in the office with my other job. So it allows me to balance the two.
mm-hmm.
So that helps me even more, like with like really like with a grounded schedule for both. Because at one point I was just like, how am I going to do this? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And at one point I was like falling back. I was like, maybe I need to just fall back on the florals. Maybe, maybe I shouldn't do this, or I shouldn't, offer this service, or da 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 da. And then I literally felt like God was like, no, you could do both. You could do both. And you could do both great. You
Mm.
could do both well. You don't,
Listen,
you don't have to take away from either. You could do both well. And with both jobs, I'm working from home. And it's a blessing.
a
Like God
blessing.
will make room. If you trust him, and I had to believe him. I had to believe him in that process. God will make room for your gifts and your talents. You really just have to trust him. And I really had to learn to trust him through in all of this. Yeah.
Listen, you literally found your garden planted
Yep.
and blown.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
So
I mean, it's
like
amazing.
you said, you tell us about your clientele, how you get clientele, like how you started to, what you say, blow up. you
Yes. Yes.
you started on here and there. Like, how is it going up to the point where you're feeling like you even need to pull back because it's becoming too
Right,
much?
right, exactly. So honestly, a lot of my clientele was coming from word of mouth, like people
Mm-hmm.
talking about me, like family, friends. And then I was putting a lot of my stuff on social media. So social media, oh my goodness, as you know, that just helps you in so many ways. So
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, Facebook, even I've been putting things on TikTok as of late. That's been helping. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
I've been using like all of the social media platforms. That's really been helping. But I will honestly say the word of mouth has probably really been like my biggest, like, I mean, honestly, probably the word of mouth has probably been my biggest PR, if I'm honest with
Mm-hmm.
you. Like people will always say, well, I received your number from, I got your, or they will push it in these groups. They will push my information into these like wedding groups or these event groups, and they will get my information from these groups on social media. So that, like,
Mm-hmm.
that has just been helping me, because they're like pushing my work, like my business, my name around in
Mm-hmm.
these groups on social media. So that has
Wow.
just been helping like big time. Even to the point I had to get a business number, because I did at one point I just didn't know what numbers was coming through on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was
Mm-hmm.
personal or business, I'm like, I need to get a business number, so that I can differentiate, business, personal. But yes, like it has come to a point where now this is where I did have to kind of like, I would say, not downplay it, but take it down a notch. At first, I had my floral. People could, I would say, place an order for a floral bouquet anytime
Mm-hmm.
during the year, right? So I just had
Mm-hmm.
it open on my website where you could just put in an order, and I would either mail it out, because we do deliveries as well, but or
Mm-hmm.
mail it out or whatever. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna have to do it where they can do it for Mother's Day, Valentine's, holidays, or something where they could just do where they can order a bouquet. You know what I mean?
Mm.
As opposed to just having it open year round.
Yeah.
Now, I do provide the service if a grievance service if someone I call it in memory of, like a memory of service, a floral wreath or
Mm-hmm.
a casket spray or something like that. I provide that year round. I provide wedding services year round. You know what I mean? Because those are consultations, that type of thing. But I did have to kind of like down back as far as like people being able to just
Mm-hmm.
order a floral bouquet anytime they want throughout the year, because
Mm-hmm.
that helps me create a balance a little bit between both. So that has helped me.
So can you see yourself, just fully going full throttle in this? Like,
I could. My
okay.
ultimate goal is to one day open a floral boutique,
Mm-hmm.
and in that boutique I would want to it would be, I would take in consultations for weddings, events, that type of thing. But I would also sell floral wreaths. I would have floral decor for homes, you know what I mean? Whatever. But it would be a boutique, you know what I mean? Like a nice, like floral design boutique. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, that is the ultimate goal. That is the dream. And it's going to happen.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
And
Oh
it's going
yeah.
to happen.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah. I
It's going to
believe that,
happen. Yep.
it's no shortage
Yes.
of people going want to get married.
No,
Hello.
no,
So,
absolutely not.
you
There is
know,
no shortage. No
look,
shortage at
I've
all.
known people to plan weddings and they ain't even got no ring
Okay,
yet.
right.
So
Okay, right.
there's no shortage, right?
There is no
Um,
shortage at all.
right.
No.
And it's always going to be something someone wants to party
Yes,
and
a
things of that
party,
nature.
absolutely. Always. There's
People,
always going to be something.
if you get married in a pandemic and still have a wedding, you still get married and all that kind of thing. There is hope for the floor design
There is hope.
business,
There is
the
hope.
decor business, the party planning business, because people have that need and that desire to have that connection.
Yes, it is. I agree. And you know what's so interesting? When I got into it, I honestly didn't know the demand was so high. But it
Oh,
is.
it's
Oh
it's
my
way
goodness.
high,
It is super
way high,
high.
way high. Like
Way
I
high.
got some quotes. I'm sure you got quotes even for your wedding, or I mean, maybe you
Yes.
did your own
Oh
decor. But
my
like,
goodness.
one of the
Yes.
girls, it was this design company. They do the whole not top to
Uh-huh.
bottom
Uh-huh.
decor that
Yes.
I did love. I even used them years ago for one of my
Uh-huh.
graduation parties,
Yep.
and it was reasonable at the time, child.
Right.
But when I went back to her,
For your wedding.
I almost cussed
I'm sure. I'm
because
sure.
when I looked at that estimate, I said, "What?
Yes.
I ain't gonna be able to do it." So
Yes.
I ain't gonna be able to do that. I ain't gonna be able to
Yep.
do that.
Yep.
You hear me?
Yep.
So because the literally the decor was almost the estimate was almost much as the food.
I can believe it. I
Like it
can
was almost,
believe it.
and you're not eating it. It's something that
No,
can get
right.
thrown. I mean, it's
Away at
nothing.
the end of the night.
It's just a.
Absolutely.
It's just to
Yes.
look at. It's just to look at.
Yes. Yep. It is just to look at.
Yeah. I had to go with another company, and it came down to a third of the price. And people were still like, "Oh, what you did?" I'm like, girl, that's fake. Those are silk flowers.
Right.
They got some.
Right.
It got some. They have some insert. They got real roses, and they feel it. You can feel it. you
Right.
know,
Right. Right.
I'm saying
And
like
that's good. You was able to find someone that did fake and
they.
real, because
It was.
a lot of companies don't do that. So a
It
lot of
was a
people
mix.
come to me because I do both. So that's good. That's really
It was
good.
a mix. She did
Yes.
a mix of. She had. They were really, really to the point where people thought the flowers were real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then they put the some real roses or roses like inside the table placement. So all the
Right. Right.
terms,
Right.
the
Right. Yeah.
centerpieces and all of that,
Yeah.
and the
Yes.
big balls and all of that.
Yep.
But yeah, our bill came down substantially. I said I can do that.
Right. Right.
I
I
can
can
do
do
that.
that.
The
Yeah.
bouquet was really, really pretty. Everything was pretty. I
Uh-huh.
mean,
Uh-huh.
I got what I wanted, and that's the main
Right.
thing.
Right. Yes. That's what matters. That's what matters. But yeah,
Yeah,
oh
and
yeah.
then you know,
But there's definitely a demand. You're right.
but the two things that people remember from my wedding is the ceremony,
Mm-hmm.
the food, and just the event. I had a whole wedding weekend.
Okay, right, right, right.
Oh,
Yes.
and I still all these years later still got people coming to me asking me, "What was that drink that you had at the cocktail hour?" So
Right.
I had a signature drink at the cocktail hour. Ain't nobody comes to me talk about them flowers. That's
Right,
my point.
right. Right,
That's my
exactly.
point.
Yep. Yes. Pretty
That's not
much.
to say that you don't need the amazing decor of
Right.
Mrs. Adia Jones. Okay, that's not to say that, but that's all. That's the flowers and all that beauty and all that's for the ladies. You know, it's for us. You're like, oh, that's so pretty. It makes you feel so
Right.
good
Yes.
inside. But I'm just talking about what the people
Right.
say.
Right.
You know,
Right. Right.
you know.
Yes.
Overall, my guests were so happy they could go to the buffet line twice.
I'm sure they did.
They were
Hmm.
so happy. So, nonetheless, oh my God, this is such a great conversation.
Yes.
I'm talking to Miss Adia Jones of the Amazing Decor Floral Design Company here located in Maryland. If you need your floor design, it
I
sounds
am your
like she
girl.
deliver, y'all. That's
Yes,
your
I
girl.
do. Yes, I
She
do.
deliver. You know, you want a bouquet, you want your husband. Do you do subscriptions?
Yes, I do. I do floor subscriptions. I
Listen,
surely do.
ladies,
Yep.
get your man.
Yes, I do.
Get her to get you on a get you in
Yep.
rotation. Get
Get you
information.
in
Get your
rotation.
subscription.
Yep.
Subscription
Get you in
to
rotation.
her company.
Yes.
What I
Yes.
want to talk about now is I want to talk about faith,
Yes.
right? The Girl
Hmm.
Go Global community is all about how we implore our faith and our works to live out our courageous life. Basically, we're doing kingdom business, okay?
Hmm.
We're doing kingdom business. You said you serve uh, those who are grieving. You said that you support women who are getting married. That's a part of kingdom business because marriage is
Absolutely.
kingdom. Hello. Um,
Absolutely.
you serve others in so many different ways. And I'm sure with your personality, you are just giving them this great experience, making
Mm.
things easy for them. So, what role does your faith play, not only in your marriage, but your business and your everyday walk of life?
Honestly, I would say my faith plays a huge part in my day to day. I know it may sound cliche for many people, but as soon as I open my eyes, the first person I'm acknowledged to is God every morning. God, thank you for waking me up. God,
Amen.
every morning, every morning. But God, my faith, um, honestly, it makes it's so huge because without it, I honestly don't know how I would get through half the days. So
Mhm.
so much goes, it's like, I have a business. I work another job. I'm a wife. I'm also a mom and a stepmom. And I mean, just the personal life. Like you have so much
Mhm.
going on. And so in one day, you literally have to step back. You have to take it all in. You have to pray about it. You have to ask for strength and guidance. And honestly, without God, half the time, I don't know how I would get through most of the days
Mhm.
without doing that most of the time. So um, God takes the front and center of my day and of my life.
Mhm.
And that's just the truth.
Amen. I
Yep.
get it. I get it.
Yep.
And I know that you definitely had to employ your faith, having raised a black son.
Yes. Yes.
He's in college now.
Yep.
I don't believe he's in Maryland, so he's out of state, and there's another level of
Yes.
faith. So can you share for
Yes.
the ladies who
Hmm.
have young children,
Yep.
whether they have daughters, whether they have sons, whatever
Yep.
the case is, what advice can you give uh maybe even single mothers or even just
Hmm.
mothers period
Hmm.
about just raising children and going through
Yes.
those ebbs and flows, in particular, you know that black son,
Right.
and what level of faith does it take to raise a black son and have him be in a whole nother state in school?
Hmm. Hmm. But first, of course, praying over them. That's so important. And I know we do with our children from like, itty bitty ages, but praying over them, praying with them, praying for them, all of those things. But when they are away from us, even when they're with us, it's like only thing we want for our children is to be safe, is to be protected. And my son is actually a Clark Atlanta, so he is 10 hours away from me.
Mm,
And I was raised by a father, a little history. My mother passed when I was 9. And I just recently lost my dad 4 years ago, but I had my father basically my entire life. And I was raised by a father that did not like keep his children back in any way from living or
mm-hmm,
exploring or being their best selves, right?
Mm.
I'd always say my dad was like my biggest cheerleader. He always wanted us to just be our biggest selves, like the best that we could be, right? So in that, he always in that he always supported us, in that he
Mm.
always encouraged us, in that he always told us to live beyond the city, the state, wherever we were from. Go beyond that, whatever.
Go
Now,
beyond.
me,
Mm-hmm.
go beyond, live beyond, do beyond,
Mm.
grow beyond, whatever. Now, me, I stayed at Morgan State. I was supposed to go to Grambling. I was scared to
Mm.
leave, but my father was like,
Mm.
"What are you doing? What do you mean you're not going? What do you mean you're not going to go?" Right? So to pull it all back, when my son had the opportunity to go to Georgia, I supported him in going. Like,
Mm.
go. And some people were like, "What do you mean? He's your only son. What do you mean you're gonna let him leave?" Yes, I'm going to let him leave, and I'm going to pray for him, and I'm going to trust that God is going to protect him because he's going to be okay.
Amen.
We have to one, pray for them, two, support them, and three, trust that God is going to cover them wherever they are. That is so important in raising our children, because when our children become adults, their lives are no longer the lives that we so-called may have wanted for them. They then
Mm.
become adults and they make their own decisions and their own choices. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So we have to pray for them, support them, and then trust that God is going to cover them,
Right.
because God is going to cover them in whatever decisions that they make. So yeah, it's just very important that we support our children and trust that God is going to cover them, because our children are going to grow up and make their own decisions in life. So, I trust that God is going to cover my son, and he does every single day. He covers him in Atlanta, Georgia. 10 hours away
Mm.
from me. 10 hours away
Oh,
from me.
listen, that's so good. That's so good.
Yes.
Like you, I was a little nervous about going
Mhm.
away to college, so that's why
Yes.
I stayed in the area. I
Yep.
grew up in Baltimore County,
Hmm.
and but the added thing for me is I graduated when I was 16, so I was like super
Mm,
young, and I had
right.
gotten accepted like
Got
to some
you.
other places, but I was like, As a matter of fact, I actually stayed home as well. I did not live on campus.
Okay.
Just because I was just nervous. I was young.
Right.
My mindset, my
Got you.
development, even though I
Hmm.
was academically sound, just
Hmm.
the other stuff had not, I guess, fully matured. And
Right.
I guess it was the best. It worked out well. So
Right.
nonetheless,
Right.
that's so good. I'm so excited about the success that your son is having at the school,
Hmm.
and pray likewise that God is the hedge is raised, the hedge of
Yes.
protection, the hedge
Yes.
of safety, all of that, and that he has a village that can support him on the ground, of positive influences there and on campus.
Hmm.
Um, that's great. So listen, this conversation is so good, and there's so many directions we could go, but we can't stay
Yeah.
on here all night long.
I know,
I do
right?
got I do got a couple more questions for you before we hop off. One of the things I want to know, if there's any global girl out there who is looking to get into your industry. I don't know very many people who are in the floor design
I know,
industry.
right? Right.
So that's dope, right? But
Hmm.
let me know any tips, tools, or strategies you would give to others who are looking to get in your industry.
Hmm. Hmm. Any tools, tips, or strategies? Research, practice, practice, practice.
Mm,
Um, I would say, I've taken a couple of classes, but the thing about that is, at the end of the day, it really always comes down to your own style. Like,
mm,
like you gotta still, when people come to me because they like my style,
yeah.
being a floral designer and being a floral stylist. They go to someone else because they like their style.
Mhm,
Like, so I think in this business, it's honestly about your design style. So I
mm,
will say research, definitely take classes, and practice, practice, practice. The way I design today is not the way I designed initially.
mm,
My work has grown. My
mm,
work has enhanced. It just has. So I would just say research, take classes and practice, because that's the only way that you're going to get better at being the designer. It's the only way. And also, ask people, ask your friends, ask your family, what could I, don't be scared for people to give you tips and advice. You know, like you have to be willing to be able to take constructive criticism from people. I ask for it often. Like, do you think I should take this out? Do you think I should add a little more? Do you think, because I want to know, how people feel about my work. So be willing and open to taking constructive criticism.
That's so good. Such good advice. Such
Yes.
good advice. I love that you brought out your design style. I watch a lot of design shows for houses and flip my home and all of that thing. When it comes to what you do, that's something I never really thought of. But I'll say this: when I started seeing you post your images about what you were doing, I definitely see that your style is not like your regular everyday floor design.
Yes.
I see that. I don't know what to call your style, but I do see the distinction there.
Yes.
And I will say that. I don't know if there's a name. I'm not
exactly.
That, but I do see it. And so I'm letting you know that I acknowledge that I see your style. And by the way, I like your style. That's why
Thank you.
Booking you for an event this coming summer. But I'm just saying, I'm vouching for you having your own personal design style.
Yes.
In your business that sets you apart and gives some distinction between your business and say someone else's business.
Absolutely. It's very important. I believe it's so important.
That's dope.
Yep. Yes. Extremely important.
So what gives you the courage to get up every day to say, hey, I'm going to go at it again. I'm going to work and I'm going to work in corporate. I'm going to work in my business. I'm going to make it all work. What gives you the courage to kind of like live that multi-layered life as wife, as mother, as employee, or even as employee and employer? We speaking employer. Hello. So what gives you, that courage to get up every day and say, this is what I'm committed to. I'm committed to walking out this part of my destiny.
Because I'm committed to enlarging my territory. Okay. So in doing that, you always hear like the multiple streams of income, right?
For sure.
You hear about that often. And I agree with it to an extent. I agree with it, but I don't believe in taking on the multiple streams if you're not happy in like 5 or to 6 of them. Some people have several multiple streams and they are literally dying on their way to the bed at night. And I'm just like, that's too much. Like, you seem miserable. You know what I mean? So with all that said, I am very passionate about my business, but it also brings me a decent amount of money. I'm happy with the money that comes with it. My job with Space Telescope, if I'm honest, I can't say I'm passionate about it, but I enjoy the people that I work with. I've been there for a while. I know the business. I know the contracts. I know that. So I can say that I enjoy the benefits. I enjoy the income. So with that said, I feel like at the moment, me balancing the two, it's worth me waking up in the morning saying I have to do this for myself, my family, and in order for me to enlarge my territory. So that is honestly is the push for me. That is the get up for me. I want to travel. I want to see things. There are places I want to go. There are things I want to, experience. And I can't do it unless, again, I put in the work. It's so many people out here, they want a whole lot, but they want a whole lot and they don't want to do anything for it. And I was never, I was not raised. I do not have the mentality that you get a lot with nothing. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? And 2, I know you have to put in the work in order to reap the benefits. So if I'm honest, that's what gets me up day to day, is that I know in order for me to receive, all the things that I want and desire, I have to put in the work. To whom much is given, much is required. Yes, to whom much is given, much is required. So you got to put in the work. And that's what gets me up. because I enjoy those things and I want those things. But with those multiple streams, I will be honest, if you're going to have them, make sure those multiple streams are things that you enjoy, and you're not just doing it to get a paycheck.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say, what does it mean for girls to go global? What would you say?
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about it yesterday, and then I was thinking about it a little earlier when right before, honestly, before we were going to get on. What does it mean for girls to go global? And of course, global is beyond your inner circle, your inner thinking, your inner world, right? That is global for me. And girls to go global. And I believe it means connecting to women abroad, connecting to women around the world, and letting them into your world, letting them into your life, and not a lot of times I feel like many of us hold on to the power and the resources that we have, right? So sharing that with girls and women, globally, reminds me kind of like Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation in a way. It starts here, but it starts here with you, but you got to let it out. You got to let it out to the world in order for, again, your light, the resources that you have, the information that you have, in order for it to, to reach abroad, to reach, across. You have to let it out. You have to, share it with others. So that's what I think it means for girls to go global. Share your resources, share your light with women, girls abroad. So,
Love that. Love that. I believe that you definitely are a global girl. Oh. So if people want to connect with you, how can they do that?
So you can reach me at my webpage, www.amazingdecor.com, or you can email me at Adia, ADIA, at theamazingdecor.com. You can also find me on Instagram. That is _. I want to make sure I get this right and I'm not giving out the wrong information. It's at _amazing_decor_. That's for Instagram. Again, my Instagram is _amazing_decor_. And then my Facebook is Amazing Decor.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. This has been a fantastic conversation. I have loved chatting with you. I'm looking forward to connecting with you more as we plan out my forthcoming event. And I'm just looking to following you from afar, sis. So yes. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been the Girl Go Global podcast, where faith and works are empowered. If you are enjoying the content, like, share, subscribe, share it. Don't keep this information to yourself. And hit me up in the DMs at Girl Go Global, or you can contact me at hello@girlgoglobal.com, and someone from the team will follow up with you. If you'd like to be a guest, we are entertaining guests, so send us an email. Let us know if you are interested in coming and chatting with me on the podcast. I would love to hear your story. Love to hear how you are becoming or being a global girl. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening.